What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the OddsShopper channel, coming to you with a conference championship edition of NFL Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize and our great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. I repeat, it was really good content towards the end of that NFL regular season. And then, well, these last 2 weeks have been horrible for me in the NFL. So we're going to turn the tide. We're going to talk you through the conference championship games, what I got right, what I got wrong. And trust me, had a lot more that I got wrong here over the course of the last 2 weeks. More than happy to talk about it. More than happy to be completely upfront. Again, how does Austin Ekeler not score? But Jeremy McNichols and Brian Robinson combined for 3 touchdowns. Pain, suffering personified. But hey, congratulations, Washington. We'll talk about them taking on the Eagles here at 3 p.m. Eastern time, noon Pacific. And then I don't know exactly what time it is there for Kansas City, Buffalo, but I know we're all going to be watching. So I'm excited for it. You're excited for it. If you're excited and you want to sign up and get all of my plays day of, well, you can do so at Eric Lindquist. You follow me, but you sign up for the Tails package down below, Lindy50. I'll talk about it here in a second. But without further ado, I'm stoked to try to get off the schneid here because it's been a good season until this point. Playoffs have been bad. So producer Jacob, time to get it rolling. I got work to do. Let's get to the picks. Washington 6.5-point dogs heading into the Link, taking on Philly. I can't wait for this football game. I'm pretty sure we're all excited to see Jaden Daniels in a big time spot. I mean, he just continues to be insane. He goes out and torches, absolutely eviscerates. Yes, a shorthanded Lions team, but like at the same time, it's the freaking Detroit Lions. They made Sam Darnold look like a little kid with a backpack on out there, just, you know, not in a good way. It was bad. It was not wholesome. Being a Vikings fan is the absolute stone cold woe, but Jaden Daniels is definitely the opposite of that. You've got an Eagles team also that just continues to do incredible things on the defensive side of the ball. So that entire back and forth, I'm very excited to see. I think we're all excited to see how it works out, but I have to throw this out there as well. You got Austin Ekeler. Now you're in a game where you're supposed to trail, and they've got good offense and defense. This is not like the Lions where they were able to turn a pick six into a really, really insane change of pace to that entire football game. Because once it got moved to 2 scores, Washington playing ahead, they were able to do it here. I don't think they're going to be able to do that here against Phildelhpia. Why would I? They're 6.5-point dogs, but Austin Ekeler was still on the field ad nauseum, and I think the mistake that I made was potentially not just going all in on his yards in some capacity, either rushing, receiving, or the combination of the two. So we're going to rectify that here today. That's for sure. Because again, snap counts, big part of what I do, trying to project out exactly who's going to be on the field, because it's hard to accumulate stats if you aren't on the field. And it seems as though, yeah, Brian Robinson, really good bounce back spot there against the Lions, but you are getting some pieces back here on the Eagles side of things. There is no doubt that you were able to see them get ran on all over, but they get Juergens back here, and that is going to be somebody at the center position that's going to be very, very helpful, very, very nifty. But you got a number of these other just like incredible dudes, run blockers here on the defensive side of things. I mean, I just kind of look at the injury report and pretty darn healthy for the most part. I mean, Jalen Carter out there just wrecking souls, doing unbelievable things on the defensive end here for the Eagles. But I think Austin Ekeler, no matter what the game type is, we're going to be running into some goodness from him. But let's start in the lean category, shall we? And that is where I cover the Eagles offense going up against Washington's defense. I can't remember the last time in an actual football game of meaning in the NFL that I saw 125.5 as the number. Now, it opened at 123.5. It's been bet up 2 yards here. I saw it at 130 for a quick second there at the exact opening. Some people took some under on that as well, but 123.5 was available on Thursday afternoon it was. Now we're just sitting here Friday evening recording this program, and I think there is a world where we see Saquon Barkley bet up again closer to that 130 number, because again, people do like their overs, and I think he has a great chance to smash the souls of Washington. But Washington's defense has been performing admirably, obviously. Against the Lions were in catch-up mode. Jahmyr Gibbs, yeah, he's going to find his way onto statistics. It's Jahmyr Gibbs here. But Saquon Barkley, I'm leaning 125.5. I'm not going to put a play on it, I don't think, even though it does look nifty. And we'll get to the next play, of course. But Devonta Smith over 46.5 receiving yards. I think in the middle of all of this inner excellence, wild stuff going on with A.J. Brown and whatever, I think it's kind of I can't undersell the fact that the game conditions, once that second quarter started, went to dog doo-doo. Also, you have Kellen Moore. Yeah, he's going around and auditioning for every front office, it would appear. Hasn't gotten a job yet there for a head coaching position, but the offensive coordinator there has routinely made the slot position a priority for him. And even though we have not seen a crazy amount of passing output, because again, when you have two 70-yard touchdowns from Saquon Barkley, there's not a lot to go around after the fact of that. I very much think Devonta Smith is live for a big game here against Washington. I think he'll avoid a lot more of that Marshawn Lattimore, which will be more reserved for A.J. Brown here in this spot. And I think that could, just kind of a sneaky game. I think might be like a DFS showdown play more than he is somebody that I'm going to actively go out of my way to bet at these numbers. Again, minus 125, a little bit vig heavy there, 49.5s, sitting closer to that minus 110 mark. But let's get to the light category. And I think that this is kind of a fun one because I didn't like Saquon Barkley rushing yards just because it's a toughie, but we did just watch him bust off two massive touchdowns. And now he's going to take on the 30th ranked, yes, you heard me, the 30th ranked defense in all of football when it comes to stopping the run. That is a problem, 139 yards per game. And Saquon Barkley is doing like a majority of it here for his football team. Jalen Hurts not having to add a whole heck of a lot, which I bet he appreciates coming off the concussion. But I think over 23.5 longest rushing yards is a smash here in this spot. We saw Jahmyr Gibbs exceed this number. We've seen a lot of teams find ways to big play upside against Washington's ground defense. In fact, 4 of the last 5 gone over this specific number at 23.5, which is, again, that's taking the entire running back committee into account. Again, Saquon Barkley is your entire running back committee other than a couple of snaps for Kenneth Gainwell that will be coming his direction. So I feel pretty confident it's kind of a 1-for-1 swap in some situations. So over 23.5, I like his longest rush yard. That I played over at BetMGM minus 110. All right, to the lock we go. Again, we go lean like lock here when it's just the 2 standalone games. These are things I'm thinking about betting. This, I have a small play on. This, I have a much larger play on. You know who it is already. He played over half the snaps still. Austin Eckler. He is an absolute stud, an absolute wagon, and we're walking into a situation where we expect Washington to be trailing. He continues to show the veteran presence, and somebody wanted to come after me saying, oh, he has no playoff experience. Well, he had 2 games. That's more than Brian Robinson had. So by that standard, I had 3 Washington touchdowns that I watched be scored by running backs. One of them was not Austin Eckler. He is plus 330. I guarantee you, I probably find myself onto that. There's not enough room in the lean category. Plus, I think listening to me by now, Austin Eckler probably going to be a part of this card. Let's start with the priority. 46.5 rushing plus receiving yards, minus 113 on FanDuel. It's up to 47.5 here right now at this point in time. That is okay still. I would bet this up to 54.5. I would legitimately bet this up to 54.5 minus 110 or better. You're starting to get to like the 51.5, 52.5. Yeah, you're going to probably have a little bit more vig that you can add on to it. But Austin Eckler, give me that play. Over 46.5 rush plus receiving yards. Lock it up. NBA season still going strong. Plus we'll have the Super Bowl plus MLB. I don't know how, friends. I don't know how. I never played Major League Baseball. Maybe that's part of it. But MLB's been my most profitable sport the last 3 years. I think people who have tailed me know why. I am very good at it. And again, not to toot my own horn, there's a process involved. There is an everyday process that you must follow. And well, we do. And we find ourselves some home runs. I play a lot more of the big plus monies over in the MLB streets than I do over here in the NFL or over in the NBA streets. But we got an awesome opportunity for you right now. First week down to $10. First month down to $25 to sign up for the Discord using promo code Lindy50. Would you like to try out my Discord for 30 days for less than $1 a day? Well, you can sign up, use that promo code on your screen, and you'll get a minimum of 3+ plays every single day. In addition to everything here from the Lindy's program, I'm talking Discord access to me. You can chat directly with me. We also have some goodness in the Pick'em streets, putting Pick'em cards out there for the people, talking process, talking plays. Would love to see you there. Alrighty, y'all, back to the picks. One more game. Let's get to the main event. I'm hosting a big get-together with all my boys here, hanging out, watching some football, and it's all Eagles fans, so that's going to be a little bit torturous for me. But Even they agree this is the main event. Buffalo, 1.5 that they're getting up against Kansas City. Let's talk through the nitty-gritty of this one. I want to talk with wide receiver usage first. We saw Khalil Shakir 67% of the snaps last time out. Keon Coleman, 66%. Mac Hollins, 52%. I was looking at some longer shot stuff because Mac Hollins was sitting up in the north of the 60% mark, and then they pulled the gas on Khalil Shakir. Now, Josh Allen didn't have to do anything in this football game from a passing perspective. I think that was kind of the main thing everybody wanted to point out from Buffalo and from Philly. It's not that they can't, it's that they didn't have to. And I think that that's a very important discernment that you have to make here. I still think Josh Allen very live for a massive game. Hell, against Denver in that spot, first playoff weekend, 272 through the air. Obviously, he had some unbelievable scrambles. That Ty Johnson back of the touchdown, it was the most unbelievable throw you'll ever see. Just threw it well ahead of him, timed it perfectly, threw it into an absolute window of space. Incredible stuff. But he's going to need to have incredible stuff going into Arrowhead in this one to go take on the Kansas City Kelce's. Oh my God, it is insane watching Travis Kelce. Wish I had pulled the trigger myself on talking through the touchdown play for Travis Kelce. Would have made for a better lock than Austin Eckler touchdown, although, again, I stand by my guns on that one and happy to. But Travis Kelce, 7 for 8, 117 yards through the air, 49-yarder he had in the route, and obviously lots of shots to the box of Taylor Swift and Caitlin Clark. That is some richness. That is some richness in a box. It's a good life if you can have it. I'm only 6'2", and I think my football days are over. I never had football days. But anyway, I very much have betting football days, and we're going to get back into it here. I feel really good about this card. I looked at the Kansas City usage. I looked at the Buffalo usage. I think the Buffalo side is more advantageous when it comes to the touchdown numbers, purely because we got a 48.5 total. I'm quite confident between Josh Allen and James Cook, one of the two is going to find the box here in this game. I just don't know if I want to bet both of them, plus 150, plus 180, and just kind of like really lean into that, where, again, I think the ground game can find a little bit more success than other teams had here against Kansas City. Buffalo's offensive line has been performing incredibly well, even, finding guys like Davis and Johnson some running lanes. But I look at Steve Spagnuolo here, and I'm just still a little bit gun-shy at pulling the trigger on it here. And I'm a little gun-shy on pulling the trigger on Kansas City money line as well, because, again, I do think Buffalo's very live for this football game. I thought they had a chance to get upset with Denver's defense in that first one. Boy, did that not work out in my favor. Plus 400. I was stand by that value too. But Kansas City money line, I'm leaning towards their direction. I just think it's one that you sit down and you watch the game rather than pick a side of this one. I think it's extremely efficient. Again, if you made me pull the trigger on anything Kansas City, although there's a part of me that's kind of cheering for Buffalo because, well, we've seen the last two Super Bowls. I think some new blood wouldn't exactly hurt the sport here at this point in time. But let's go down to an actual play. DeAndre Hopkins. This is where the usage, again, went through some of the main wide receivers there on the Buffalo side of things. Let's talk through it here on the Kansas City side, because Marquise Brown, 67% of the snaps. Man, we were waiting for that usage to go up. Yeah, he was a late bloomer here, late add to the season because, he wasn't fantasy relevant at any point for anybody, but comes out, gets a little bit of play there in week 17, 18, shows up, finds a way onto the field immediately in the playoffs, and now he's the number 2 wide receiver behind Xavier Worthy in terms of touches. So 82% of the snaps towards Xavier Worthy, 67% for Marquise Brown. I think that is insane. But his numbers are pretty efficient for it. Juju Smith-Schuster played 41% of the snaps ahead of DeAndre Hopkins, 31%. And he's got a 2.5 receptions prop that's sitting at minus 130. And I think that needs to get played by just about everybody for a half unit. I don't know what to make of it because I think about Juju Smith-Schuster and I wouldn't want him on the field more than more than DeAndre Hopkins. But I think there's a chance that Hopkins just isn't getting any separation anymore. And Father Time is undefeated, friends. You saw it with Cooper Kupp a little bit here the last couple of weeks, although I think the conditions can definitely be a little bit of it was tough to go out in Philly and play in those last 3 quarters for sure. Try not to lean into too much of the data from that Philadelphia game. But this one, I like the under. It is a pure usage deal. I think the under of 2.5 receptions looks real nice. But to our lock, my favorite play from this one, and it is the running back usage here that we are looking at on the Kansas City side. I think we are very live to see almost all of the snaps be for Kareem Hunt here. That was something that I leaned in big time from a fantasy perspective there over on the Stochastic YouTube channel. Wish I had pulled the trigger on more bets, but I can't believe we're getting plus 180. Plus 180 on Kareem Hunt. I think the 3 most likely touchdowns that aren't Travis Kelce within this football game come by way of Josh Allen, James Cook, and Kareem Hunt. Yeah, you heard me, Kareem Hunt. He's going to play over Isaiah Pacheco. Pacheco has not been very good. Short yardage downs, it's always been Kareem Hunt. He's the far better in pass pro. If he's going to be on the field for goal line looks, there's going to be, I mean, we're expecting 48.5 points. There's something here from a ground game perspective from both teams that I want, but this was the fire. Kareem Hunt at plus 180. Didn't want that number to bypass me, and it was on DraftKings. You know how rare it is to have DraftKings give you the best number, period, for something? Plus 150 on FanDuel, and FanDuel's generally had softer touchdown odds. So just throwing it out there. I think it's my favorite play from the entire weekend. I love you, Austin Eckler. But Kareem Hunt touchdown. Get ready, friends. Potential 75, 80% of the snaps at the running back position. Samaje Perine will mix in a little bit in third down scenarios, but Kareem Hunt, love that play for Sunday. And that does it for the conference championship edition of NFL Liddy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know what a hack I am in the NFL streets, because I have been the last 2 weeks. But I'm ready to rock here. I put some extra work into this one. Don't give up, Devin. Don't give up. Another one. DJ, let's get out of here. It's Lindy50. That's on the screen. You can sign up for that down below. At Eric Lindquist, you can follow me, usually tweeting a ton of NBA goodness all throughout the day. And obviously NFL, as it's winding down, we're going to be moving ourselves into some baseball. Can't wait. Producer Jacob can't wait. It's his favorite sport. It's his favorite sport in the world. He can't wait to have the Oakland A's in Vegas. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NFL streets for Can't even finish the ending. Can't even finish the ending. Good luck in the conference championship this weekend. Enjoy.